What's up, guys? We're out here doing a little off-roading, and I'm going to show you one of my newest favorite additions for when we're off the beaten path. LASFIT dual cylinder X4 air compressor and their H4 4-tire accessory kit, so you can do all 4 tires at once, inflate or deflate. We're going to go over the specs real quick. I'll show you what they come with, and then we're going to put it to use, and I'll show you how well it works on the 35s on the Tundra. So we're not going to waste a whole lot of time with unboxing. As you see, we already have it out of the box. It does come in this nice carrying bag. When you unzip this, you're going to get your compressor. Now, I've already been using this thing, so when you first get it, it will have like bubble wrap and packaging and all that stuff. But you're going to get your air hose in case you want to use it as a single, like for a single tire, something like that. You're going to get your compressor itself, which is very, very nice. It's a dual cylinder, as I mentioned, puts out 12.35 CFM, very, very powerful. As you're gonna see, it does these 35s relatively quickly. And also just a couple other things, your user manual, of course. And one thing I will say, the user manual, even though you probably don't really need it, full color pictures and all that good stuff. So just in case you're kind of new to this game, very easy to use and set up. They do send you a pair of black and red gloves you can use. Then you also get a couple attachments that you can use for different things as well. As far as the compressor itself, it has this nice carrying handle that can be folded down either way, so it's out of the way if you don't need it or want it. Both cylinders, one on each side, has this nice sturdy base if you want to permanently mount to the truck or vehicle, which I may actually do. I'm still undecided on that. As of right now, I've just been kind of carrying it in that bag. It has a nice display on there that I'm going to show you once we start using it. If you turn it around, you can see you have your air chuck right there. And then, of course, your positive and negative alligator clips to hook to your battery. You do want to hook this to your battery and have your vehicle running when you're using this because of the power that it does take to use it. Now, for the H4 4-tire accessory kit, if you choose to go this route, which I highly recommend, also comes in a very nice carrying bag, very roomy and spacious. So when you're all done for the day, it's pretty easy to wrap these up, the air hoses up, and get them fitted back in here. But when you open up this bag, you're going to have 2 different air hoses. Of course, again, you'll have your instruction manual, which, just like the compressor, full picture, colored pictures, very easy to follow if you're new to this and not really sure, or if you've never used anything like this. And then you also get this little, I want to say suede bag. It's not suede, but like almost like a velvety bag. Inside there, you're going to have your display. Okay, I absolutely love how they kind of thought out this display, and we're going to go over why when I show it to you working on the truck. But there it is, nice digital display there, and I'll show you how this all hooks up. Also in here, just so you know, you'll get this little bungee. This is for if you don't want to set this on the ground or something, you can put the bungee around. You can basically hang it somewhere, on the truck or whatever, if you don't want to set it on the ground. Okay, so you just pop it on there, hang this, and you're good to go. So let me show you. Oh, the only other thing I will mention is this does need 2 AAA batteries. The kit doesn't come with it. I already have them in there. Again, I've been using this for quite a while, but just so you know, you do need 2 AAA batteries that are not included for your valve, or I'm sorry, for your gauge. All right, guys, let me show you how easy this thing is to use and hook up, and then we'll do some timing tests just to kind of show you how well and how efficient this thing is with these 35 by 12.5-inch tires on the truck. So basically, your manifold, what you want to do is you want to have, you can see it says open right there. You want to have that slid down so it's in the closed position. That way, when we hook this up to our tires, it's not going to automatically start releasing air, because as I mentioned, you can deflate with this as well. So with that in the down position, we're just going to take our 2 different hoses, and you can see the side that looks like this is simply just going to plug into the quick connect like so. And you just want to make sure it's closed, but as you saw, it should close automatically. So I'll show you that again. Just slide that in there, closes automatically. Okay, now the rest of this is going to go to our tires on either the driver or passenger side. Now we're going to take our other hose, same thing, find the end that looks like that, and plug it into the disconnect, the quick disconnect on the other side. Okay, so you're gonna have a hose coming off each side like so. Then on each hose, you're gonna have 2 connectors that look like this. Take the plastic cover off, just to kind of protect it from getting dirt inside. And you're going to see there's also quick disconnects that we're going to attach to our valve stems on the tires. And let me show you how fast and easy these are to connect. So what you want to do is just make sure your collar, the red piece, is slid down like so. You're literally just gonna, I already removed the cap just to make it quicker. You're literally just gonna pop this on and then slide the collar up. And if you do it fast enough, you get very little air release coming out of your tire. Now I'm just gonna take the end of this hosing and run it up to, we're on the driver side right now. This is the driver rear. I'm just gonna take this up to the driver front. Now all I'm gonna do is repeat the same thing on the passenger side with the other side of the hosing, and they give you plenty of hose. I like to set this kind of right in the middle just so I have slack and plenty of play. So I'm just gonna set my gauge or my manifold right here in the middle of the back seat and run the hosing through and connect to the passenger side tires. And just like that, we're hooked up to all 4 tires. Now we can get hooked up to the compressor and either air down or air up, whatever you want to do. All 4 tires are connected. You can see we're not connected to the compressor yet. You can see it's telling us that our tires are at 36.5. Looking at my dash, which you can't see it obviously, we're in the back here, but that is basically spot on. My dash says that my tires are at 36. This claims to be accurate within 0.5 to 1 psi. It's saying 36.5. My truck is saying 36. So pretty spot on right there. Now, one other thing I want to mention before I forget, before we go any further, this is backlit as well. So you have 2 buttons on the screen here. This one right here, hopefully it shows up in the video, but if you're doing this in low light conditions, that thing lights up. We're broad daylight right now, and that thing lights up really nice. So you can very easily see the display. The other button is basically just if you want to change from PSI to bar or the other options as well. I think it has 4 different options if I'm not mistaken. But of course I'm using PSI. So now with us hooked up to all 4 tires and not to the compressor, this is how you're going to air down if you want to. So again, we're at 36.5. We are on a trail right now that's going to get a little rocky. I don't necessarily have to air down, but I'm going to just for purpose, just to show you this thing in action. So to air down with it hooked up like this to all 4 tires and not the compressor, all you're going to do is slide your collar, your valve, the one that says open right here, slide it up, and you're going to hear air start to gush out. Now I'm going to time this for you, just so we're going to drop down to about, I'd say maybe 18 to 20 psi. So we're going to go from 36.5 to 18 to 20, and let's see how long it takes. I'm going to let this play out in real time. If you want to fast forward, go nuts. But again, I just want to show you how quickly and how efficient this thing works. So 36.5, slide the collar up, and you're going to hear the air come out. It does have a pretty good stream. It is pretty powerful. So again, if you want to watch the timestamp on the video, let's see how long it takes us to get down to 18 to 20. And to check your PSI, I'm sure you know this, but to check your PSI, it can't check while it's actually doing it. So to check it real quick, let's just close it and see where we're at. We're at 32.1. So just so you know, you do have to close that just to check the PSI. Close it and check where we're at. We're down to 26.3. Stop and check. 21. All right, let's see where we're at. That should put us right around where we want to be. So we're at about 17.8. And once you do close that valve, whether you're inflating or deflating, give it about a minute, 30 to 60 seconds. You can see it's going to kind of regulate because it balances all 4 tires out, which is another awesome feature when you're using something like this. Your 4 tires are going to be identical as far as PSI. So you can see it's actually kind of creeping up a little bit. So if you gave it 30 to 60 seconds, what the reading you're going to see is for all 4 tires. So it's going to put us right around where we want to be. It's reading 18.4 right now. So however, when I go back and do the editing, I'll put the total time on the screen of how long it took to go from that 36.5 down to right around where we want to be, that 18 to 20 range for the trail that we're on. All right, guys, so after about a minute or so, you can see it's kind of hovering right around that 18.6 or 18.7. Hopefully you can see it. I'm not sure if it's showing up in the video. So it did level out. The tires are all equal, hovering right around that 18.7 mark. Now, let's say you're done, end of the day, trail riding's over, you want to air back up. You're going to hook up the system the exact same way to all 4 tires. The only difference is now once you're all hooked up, you're going to take your compressor, you're going to take your quick disconnect right here, and we're going to hook. Now remember, this red valve is still in the down or closed position. If you open it, you're going to let that air back out. Okay, so have that in the closed position. Now we're going to just hook to our quick disconnect from the compressor. Make sure it's on there nice and tight. Now if we open it up, we're good. Okay, you shouldn't hear any air leaking out or anything like that. You want to make sure you open that, slide it up before you turn your compressor on, or you're going to overheat your compressor because that valve is going to be closed. You're probably going to do some damage. So just make sure that is slid open. Okay, and then all we're going to do is take our alligator clips, and I'm going to turn the truck on before I actually turn the compressor on. But we'll hook up our alligator clips, red to positive, black to negative, and hopefully if you can see this, let me try to set it up here. You can see once you hook it up to power, that screen will come on. All right, so let me go ahead and turn the truck on before we do anything else. And real fast, I just want to show you that this thing is extremely accurate. You can see right there on the front of the compressor, it says 18 PSI. Now, again, the valve is showing that 18.7-ish, so you're well within that range of plus minus 1 PSI, but the compressor is saying 18 on the dot, and you can see right there on our dash, 18s across the board. All right, guys, so again, end of the day, you want to reinflate your tires. You're hooked up as I showed you. You can see we're at the 18. Now, if you want to change your from PSI to bar or all that stuff, that's what this M button is for up here. The plus and minus, this is what you're going to set it to. So again, typically I run mine on a daily basis anywhere between like 35 and 40. You know, we'll just put it at 36 or 37, whatever, because I'm not actually, we will do a time test when I'm done off-roading today, but I'm just going to kind of show you this thing in action real fast. So once you have the PSI set to where you want to be, again, it's saying 36. All you got to do is hit the power button. And I'm going to turn it off real quick because I don't want to air up too fast because I'm actually still, I'm not even off the trail, obviously. I'm just showing you guys this in action. What it will do, though, which you'll see when we do the time test, the compressor will kick on and off here and there. It's checking the PSI to make sure it's, you know, it didn't overinflate where you want them to be, but it's literally that simple. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and disconnect. I'm going to go have some fun on the trails, and then when I'm done on the trails, we'll do a time test to show you how quickly it'll go from that 18 range back up to our normal running pressure of about 36 to 37-ish. All right, guys, we had a good day on the trails. Time to air back up, and we're going to time it to see. I'll show you the gauge. Right now, let me put the backlight on so hopefully you can see it a little bit better. It's saying we're at 17.8 right now after riding around and having some fun. So again, don't forget, this valve is pushed down in the closed position. If you open it, you're going to lose air. Okay, so 17.8, we're going to hook up to the compressor. Truck is running, so just quick connect on that. Red to positive, black to negative. So now once everything is hooked up, if you notice, the compressor is saying 0 because we still have this valve closed. So now we can go ahead and open it, and you'll see now the compressor can read the PSI. And on my dashboard, the compressor is actually saying 16.8. On my console is actually saying 17. So again, you're right around that, within 1 PSI, give or take, that LASFIT claims, you know, as far as consistency and accuracy. So I'm extremely happy with that. So let's go ahead and set our, what I'm going to do is, instead of, because it's going to take longer to air up obviously than it does down, so I'm going to do a stopwatch, and I will fast forward the footage, but I'll keep my phone in frame so you know it's legit. So let's go ahead and set our PSI. Let's go back up to 36. So we're going to be going from 17 to 17 and a half up to 36. So we have our PSI set at 36 there. All we have to do, oh, let me get my stopwatch ready. So I grab my little tripod so I don't have to hold my phone the entire time. You just get this set up so you guys can see it. Hopefully that's within frame. Looks like it's staring right at the camera. So let's hit power and start. Okay, let's stop it. We're at 36 PSI. Gauge is reading 35.8. So again, very well within that one. Let me check my console. All 4 tires on the console are reading 36. Perfect. And you can see on the phone, time-wise, 3 minutes and 48 seconds to take 35 by 12.5-inch tires from roughly 17 to 17 and a half all the way up 36. All 4 tires. That's pretty impressive. Okay, so now that we're at the PSI that we want, there is a particular order that you want to disconnect all this stuff. Of course, we're gonna go ahead and get rid of the power first. So disconnect the negative and then the positive. Now what you want to do is take this main valve right here, close it, because if you don't close it and disconnect, remember, the air is just going to come flying out. So close that valve, disconnect like so. You'll hear a little quick puff of air, and now your compressor is good to get out of the way. Now just be careful, the cylinders are going to be a little bit warm, so just be careful there, especially if it's a really hot day, so just watch your hands. Now what we want to do before we even touch the connections here with the 2 lines going to the driver and passenger side is, we want to go ahead and disconnect all 4 tires. And it's as simple as pulling the collar down and it just pops right off. Pull the collar, pop it off, just like so, and you're not going to lose any PSI. And then just don't forget to put your protective caps back over them when you're done, just so they don't get any dirt, mud, or whatever inside. And don't forget to replace your caps. Okay, now that you're disconnected from all 4 tires, before you disconnect the hoses, now you want to pull this main collar up to let the remaining air that's in the hoses free. You'll get that little gush. Now you're totally fine. Remove the lines, quick disconnect, and you're ready to pack it up and put everything away. And again, this piece may be a little bit warm as well, so if you want to leave it out for a couple minutes just to cool down, go ahead. But I'll show you how easy it is to wrap these up real quick, put them back in the bag, and we'll wrap the video up. In order to wrap these back up and get them in that circle to put back in the bag, super easy to do. Let the hose kind of tell you which way it wants to go. The only thing you want to pay attention to is how big your circle is. Obviously, you want to make sure it's not any bigger than the bag or they won't fit. As long as you keep the circle smaller than the bag, these things pop right back in there. And I'll show you what I mean. You can kind of see how the hose wants to go a certain way. Don't fight it. Just let it go whatever way it kind of wants to go, and you're going to be totally fine to get these back in the bag. Once you get it coiled up, You do have these Velcro things that they come with. Honestly, I don't even use the Velcro things. Once you have it coiled up, you can just pop them right back in the bag, and the bag is going to keep them in the circular pattern. So you can see what I mean. As long as you get them smaller than the size of the bag, they fit perfectly. My manifold is nice and cool now. It's actually kind of chilly today, so it didn't take long to cool down at all. As long as it took me to wrap them hoses up, which was what, a minute or two, this thing is cool enough to put back in the bag. Tuck in between your lines, zip it up, and you're ready to rock. There it is, guys, the X4 compressor with the H4 tire accessory kit to do all 4 tires at once from LASFIT. Link and discount code will be down below. I highly, highly recommend this thing. I don't expect anything less from LASFIT. They're one of our longest standing channel partners. I absolutely love their stuff. High quality hosing. The compressor is a beast. You saw how quickly it airs our 35s back up from 17 to 36 PSI in under 4 minutes for all 4 tires. That's incredible. So I've been using it for a while. I knew what it was going to do. I just wanted to share it with you guys. Check it out down below. The link will be there for you as well as with the discount code. If you have any questions on anything I showed you, put them down below. I'll help you out the best I can. And as always, I appreciate you watching. We'll see you on the next one.